2. KJFM Louisiana Bowling Green. All day and all night. KJFM Eagle 102. Area high school basketball is on the air. Every week, Eagle 102 brings you the best of area high school sports. On air at 102.1, online at kjfmradio.com, and on the KJFM radio app. Now to the court for high school basketball on your area sports leader, KJFM Radio.
Well, we're still waiting for the JV matchup to finish here between Clopton and Clopton and Elsberry. We're at Elsberry High School. Just got a score in from Louisiana. They're playing over in the tournament over at Monroe City. The Louisiana Lady Bulldogs pick up the win over Marion County 51-30. In the Centralia tournament this evening, the Van Far Indians just fell short to Hallsville as they fell by the score of 64-63. So Van Far is finished over in Centralia. Louisiana Lady Bulldogs play again tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock in the middle school gym, where they will take on Mark Twain for the consolation trophy. Here, this one is the JV game. It's a 5-point difference as Elsberry is leading Clopton. We're going to talk about that varsity matchup when we have the Bowling Green Pharmacy pregame show next here on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage brought to you by Lynn's Heritage House, Ackles Farm Market, and Northeast Missouri Title Company.
As many as 50% of people don't take their medication as prescribed. Some never even fill their prescription, even if they don't feel well. Missing or not taking medication can be deadly. For questions about medication, your local Health Mart pharmacy is here to help. For fast, friendly service and affordable prices every day, visit your local Health Mart pharmacy, Bowling Green Pharmacy, located right on the square at 8 North Court in Bowling Green.
Don't have time to stop by the bank? That's not a problem if you're a customer of People's Bank and Trust. With our mobile and online banking service, you can now bank from anywhere. Deposit checks, pay bills, transfer funds between accounts, check the latest activity on your account, and view images of your checks, all from the convenience of your desktop and smartphone. So start banking on your schedule and download the People's Bank and Trust app today. People's Bank and Trust, hometown banking the way it should be. Member FDIC.
This is Tracy Brookshire with Pike County Health Department Home Health and Hospice. Did you know our agency currently offers over 30 programs and services to our communities? The Women, Infant, and Children's Program, infant through adult immunizations, car seat safety courses, diabetes counseling, and of course our amazing home health and hospice programs, just to name a few. Learn more by visiting our website at pikecountyhealth.org and see what services you and your family could benefit from.
High school sports on your area sports leader, Eagle 102. Brought to you by Bowling Green Tractor, Becky Cadwalder Real Estate, and Ingram Plumbing.
Hear all the action from the Eagle 102 broadcast booth. Sponsored by Family Drug in Louisiana. It's time now for the Eagle 102 pregame show, sponsored by Bowling Green Pharmacy.
So, Lauren, we just had the JV game come to an end. Elsberry came away with the win by the score of 31-24. But this matchup, this EMO conference matchup, it might rival the rivalry between Clopton and Silex.
I feel like Clopton's just rivals with everyone, honestly. But, yeah, I mean, it has turned, I think, into a bigger rivalry even in these last few years. And I know Coach Street was looking forward to the rematch after several last year. I think our girls took away one. Elsberry came away with 2 wins last year, so it should be a really good game this evening.
Well, we talked to both coaches early on this week, and the past 2 times these teams have met in the regular season. So this game, the past 2 seasons, 2 years ago, it took 5 overtimes to decide. Last year, it took 2 overtimes to decide. And so I asked both of them, I said, well, what is the key to getting you two to finish a game in regulation? Coach Street had a normal Coach Street answer, score more points than the other team by the buzzer.
I mean, yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
And Coach Carrie Cokedow, she kind of chuckled, and she's kind of alluded to the same thing. She's just like, I don't know. She's like, when we bring both teams and they both play their best, it's just a heck of a game.
Yeah, and I think it is one of those games that both teams typically do play their best game against each other. So hopefully we get it done in regulation. One team gets it done in regulation, and we're not in here for 5 overtimes this evening.
That is true. I may have to have a talk with both of them. Elsberry comes in with a 2-4 record. We'll talk about that in just a second. Clopton Lady Hawks, a 3-2 record. But what I noticed looking down at the rosters here is both teams return a bunch of players from the years prior.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with how many Elsberry graduated last year. Clopton girls, we only graduated one, Abby Patchen. So we got pretty much our whole starting lineup is back for us this year, and we've added several freshmen and sophomores that now have some experience that Coach Streed can sub them in off the bench, and it doesn't hurt us at all.
Well, for Elsberry, boy, they missed Candace Dowell a good portion of the season last year, but she is back this season. She is now also returning is Jillian Reller, Katie Talbot, Mackenzie Gladney, Maya Plaster. She was actually one of the Eagle 102 all-area tournament team members from Bowling Green tournament. Anna Talbot, Ella Barber. There are just a few names to run down that are just returning, and I think that we're going to see a lot of action coming our way from the Talbot twins. Mackenzie Gladney, I think, is going to be the ones out there leading it, and I'll be anxious to see what role Candace Dow comes back in. She was injured last year a good portion of the season, so we didn't get to see her until, I think, postseason.
She had knee injury last year.
It sounds right. I feel like that is correct, but I also don't want to make a lot of myself. Be like, yeah, it's knee, but I do feel it was her knee. So, and she is a great outside shooter for the Lady Indians, so that's going to make a big difference on the court, and especially having that experience there. But I think what I was getting at, Lauren, is it's not even like you can say, oh, this one team is really young, so the other team might have a little bit of advantage when they really don't. We know we'll probably see several players come off the bench for both of the Clopton Lady Hawks and the Elsberry Lady Indians. For Clopton, they've basically been going about 8 deep.
Yeah, I think Coach Streed, her first 8 or even 9 girls, she can pretty much sub in a fresh 4 or 5 girls. And so I think that'll work to our advantage this season. She'll be able to run teams and just get some fresh legs in there. So like you said, you can't use being young as an excuse this year for either of these teams. They both returned a lot.
Well, and we talked a little bit about that freshness, but both teams also came off of playing 4 quarters of JV, so some of those legs aren't quite as fresh as they were.
They're just getting warmed up.
Was that what it is?
Yeah, getting loose for this game.
Okay, so we know Tinley Spoonster, Lindsay, I do this all the time, Campbell Lindsay, poor thing. I feel bad for her. Already she's got to live up to that Lindsay name. And,
yep.
And then here I go chopping it up, but just wait till you have a sibling out there. I'll call you their name. But
never happened.
No, not in your case.
Never.
Not in your case. That was somebody else. We won't talk about that one. But poor siblings. I do it all the time. But we know we're going to see them come off the bench. Riley Kuntz had a lot of time in. Skylar Parker had quite a few minutes in the JV game. Now there's only so many minutes these girls can play, and that may have limited their time in the JV game because they really were planning on using them here in the varsity game.
Yeah, they get 6 quarters a night, so I'm sure Coach Streed was pretty strategic with her substitutions and tried to space it out. So I would assume most of those girls still have 4 quarters to go for this varsity game.
I'm sure you're correct. We'll be anxious to see Kinsey Koch. She, of course, was I don't want to call her a hot shot. I don't want to swell her mom's head if she's listening. But she's a very talented freshman that got great reviews and honors in the postseason for softball as a freshman. She was playing a little bit earlier tonight, so we'll wait and see if she gets some time off the bench. I think that they said that she has seen some varsity time, but right now they kind of have a full roster. And I had a couple of coaches tell me this season that it was nice. They could have a JV and a varsity team, and you didn't have to use your JV team to fill your varsity team, and that really gave them more time to develop.
Yeah, I feel like the last few years programs have really been down numbers-wise, and you haven't seen a ton of full JV teams. So I know that is something Coach Streed was looking forward to this year, and Elsberry girls looking at their bench.
Yes.
They have some big numbers also.
And it was really kind of fun to watch the JVs play. Earlier we basically got to see the entire game as we got here just in the nick of time as they were tipping off. But, they look like they're both going to be competitive for years to come.
Yeah, it was a close game. Elsberry pulled away by 9 or so at the end. But, yeah, I'd say the next few years as these girls move on up, I'd say we'll have some pretty good games on our hands.
All right, let's take a quick break here on the pregame show. We've got your keys to the game for you coming up. We got 10:50 on the clock before tip-off here at Elsberry High School on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage brought to you by Advanced Physical Therapy, Rick Rodhouse Insurance Agency, Center Locker Service, and Mercantile Bank in Palmyra.
It's a great time to buy or sell a home. I'm Vicki Cadwalder, and I take pride in offering skills that make the process go smoothly from beginning to end. Even after closing, I enjoy staying in touch and being there to help you if you have any other needs or questions. During the process, I'll work closely with your lender and other professionals to make it as effortless as possible. I'm here with you every step of the way, so when you're ready to buy or sell, call me and we'll create a personalized plan just for you. Vicki Cadwalder Real Estate, loving our small town life.
Your car, your stuff, your savings. Combine your auto and renter's insurance with a call to State Farm Insurance agent Cindy Blaylock in Louisiana, and let Cindy show you how to put life back in your life insurance. Auto, home, and life. Make your wallet happy. Here to help life go right, State Farm Insurance agent Cindy Blaylock in Louisiana.
Bowling Green Tractor wants to change the way you think about yard work with their Ego 56-volt ARC lithium battery-powered lawnmowers, weed eaters, blowers, trimmers, and chainsaws. At Bowling Green Tractor, you can walk in and see for yourself just how easy these products are to handle. Bowling Green Tractor, your home for Ego. Power beyond belief.
The most complete coverage of high school sports is on Eagle 102, and it's brought to you by Mid-America Auto and Towing, the Mercantile Bank, and Pike County Mutual Insurance.
Time now for the Eagle 102 Keys to the Game on KJFM, sponsored by Vicki Cadwalder Real Estate in Louisiana.
So, Lauren, as a former Clopton Hawk, a current coach, what are the keys for the Lady Hawks to walk away with the victory tonight?
I would say probably the biggest key for the Lady Hawks is making sure they're getting some solid box outs and then getting rebounds out of that. One thing they're lacking in, we have a lot of speed, but they do not have a ton of height. So it is extra important for them to make sure they're getting good box outs and everybody's in position. That, and I would say getting turnovers off of their press. You know, that's always kind of been Clopton's MO is press teams, get turnovers, and we produce our offense out of the defense. So I'd say if they do those two things, then they should be pretty set.
All right. And then for the Elsberry Lady Indians, what's their key tonight to getting the victory over the Lady Hawks?
I would say Elsberry, looking at them size-wise, they're pretty comparable with Clopton. So I think they'll also probably be pretty quick, and I remember that from last year if they run the ball and get the ball ahead. Elsberry also does a very good job in their zone of staying very wide. They're very disciplined. They run a 1-2-2 zone better than most teams I've seen, very disciplined on that. So if Elsberry can run that defense and keep Clopton out of the post, I'd say they'll be in pretty good shape.
All right, let's talk about the two teams. We mentioned a little earlier, Clopton comes in with a 3-2 record. They opened up and had a big game against Liberty Christian, got that win 78-42, then fell in and I believe Coach Street said an absolute heartbreaker is the way she used it, a 1-point loss to New Haven over at the Montgomery County Invitational Tournament. That was 40-39. Came back, defeated Bowling Green 41-39, and then went on to defeat Mexico by over 30 in that consolation game to pick up a win. And then just earlier this week, traveled to Canton, and Lauren, it was another 1-point loss for the Lady Hawks.
Yeah, and my junior high girls, we had a game that evening, so I didn't get to go watch. And despite the loss, I think Coach Street was pretty pleased with how they played. Canton has a very, very solid team. I think they made it to the Final Four last year. I think they beat Clopton by 30 or so last year, so she was very pleased with how they played. Just came up a little bit short.
And as for Elsberry, they come in with a 2-4 record, but when talking to Coach Carrie Koch earlier this week, she said that's not really reflective of their team because they've only had 2 out of the 6 games with their full team. She said they've had some illness, which we know all the teams are dealing with these days. They had some that were out of town, and there's a couple other things. So they've kind of struggled a little bit, but they've already been into some overtime games. Of course, they played Winfield right off the bat. The Battle of 79 was the opening games for both the boys and girls here from Elsberry. They fell to Elsberry 53-52, so a pretty close game. Then went to Palmyra. We know Palmyra is always a tough place to play and a tough team. They fell there 65-35. They came back, played in the Winfield Tip-Off Classic, opened it up with a big win over McClure North, won that one 55-20. Then played Fort Zumwalt East in the semifinals, took it to 2 overtimes, as we mentioned before, to get the 2-point loss, 56-54, and then again fell to Winfield in the matchup, 40-33. So then this week, they played Duchesne and picked up a win, 41-23. So both teams seem to be keeping it very tight in these ball games. So it could be one of those games where it all that really matters is who has the ball last.
I think it'll come down to just if one team's shooting better than the others, but, I think they'll be trading baskets all night, and it should hopefully be a close game.
I just hope they remember that I'm kind of old and out of shape, and they don't have oxygen tanks up here for me. So take it easy on the old girl.
You'll be fine. You got it.
After tonight, the Elsberry Lady Indians, they're going to host Wentzville Liberty here on the 12th. Clopton turns around and hosts Hannibal tomorrow night at Clopton High School, and then Mark Twain on the 16th. Clopton will play Liberty, I believe it's Illinois, though, in the shootout, John Wood Community College shootout on the 21st. Why Elsberry, we're looking down through them, they have a game over break. Well, they'll be playing Liberty Christian. So, and then both teams will open up the first of the year at the Clopton Invitational Tournament. Seeding's being done for that the first of next week. And you almost have to believe that these two teams will probably be in the top of that bracket.
I would think these two teams will probably be battling it out for the number 1 and the number 2 seed. That was the championship game of the tournament last year. And with both teams returning the bulk of their roster, I'd say it's probably no question which two teams will be the top 2.
The other team that we're kind of keeping an eye on with that combination there is also the Salt Lake Lady Owls. They've had some success, returned a bunch of people as well. If you missed it tonight, Louisiana girls who broke that big losing streak last year at the Clopton Invitational Tournament, broke that, and they are out playing for some hardware tomorrow night at Monroe City. So congratulations to them for their win. They'll be playing at 6 o'clock in the middle school gym. Again, they got the win over Marion County, a nice win, 51-30. The Louisiana boys will be playing in the third place game tomorrow evening over at Monroe City. They're waiting to see whether they're going to be facing Palmyra or Highland. Other games that have already taken place tonight, the Van Far Indians fell over at Centralia. It was a close one, another 1-point loss there as Hallsville squeaked past them as 64-63. And Lauren, as a former player, I know how we feel calling the games, and probably the fans feel in attendance. What's harder, a blowout or a 1-point loss?
That is a great question. As now coaching my junior high girls, I would rather have those close games where it's the 1-point wins or losses. I think you learn a lot more from those games typically. And they're usually more fun if you come out on the winning side of those also. But, that's a hard question.
Yeah, well, we know that, those 1-point losses, that means that you've been competitive the entire game. Yep. That means that it's been back and forth, and there was nothing else left on the court when you left. Yep. Unfortunately, some of those blowouts, you learn from those as well.
Yeah.
You learn, especially for certain teams that, we've talked about the Quincy Notre Dame, girls over the years. We've talked about the Canton girls over the years. Those teams that are just dominant, you have to learn how to not get down when playing those. Go into it with a positive mentality and then turn around and keep that positive mentality even if you get down early. So every game has a lesson.
Yeah. Sometimes in those close games, it's easier to compete the whole game because you know that you have the potential to win that. And those blowout games, a lot of times I feel like you see girls, not just the girls' side, the guys too, they quit competing. So like you said, you can still take away a lot from that, learn how to compete through the end of the game. And even if you can't win, you still have to play hard.
And I always like the motto that, and I can't remember which coach started it. Won't even try to remember which coach started it, but you only lose if you didn't learn something.
Yep.
It doesn't really matter what the win-loss column looks like. You only lose if you didn't learn something from that game. And the two coaches for these teams tonight, boy, you talk about experience.
Yes, I would say both of them standing at half court talking right now probably have between the two of them more basketball knowledge and experience than probably the rest of the gym combined.
Yeah, so that means it's going to be good. Looks like everybody's headed back to their bench. That means it's time for the national anthem, and we'll be back with starting lineups after this as you're listening to EMO Conference Basketball on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage brought to you by Lynn's Heritage House, Ackles Farm Market, and Northeast Missouri Title Company.
Hi, this is Amy at Community State Bank of Missouri. Did you know we offer health savings accounts? If you have a high-deductible health plan, you may qualify for a health savings account. HSAs are designed to help you save your money to help pay your deductible. Talk to your employer about our health savings account and let them know you want to keep your money right here at home. Community State Bank of Missouri, your hometown community bank since 1887, member FDIC.
At Pike County Memorial Hospital, we know how important athletics are for your kids, but with an active lifestyle of sports comes health risks and safety hazards. As a certified athletic trainer at PCMH, I work closely with our primary care physicians, orthopedic doctors, and physical therapists. We can make a difference between safe play and dangerous injuries for your athletes. Working with Bowling Green, Clopton, and Louisiana schools, our goal is to provide the best possible outcome for your athlete. I'm Eric Schaefer, certified athletic trainer at Pike County Memorial Hospital. I'm at work while your athletes are at play.
Royal Banks is your community bank with locations throughout St. Louis, St. Charles, Northeast Missouri, Granite City, and Jerseyville, Illinois. A Royal Bank branch is not far away. Royal Banks bring experienced staff and products and services designed to meet your professional and personal financial needs. Investing in our communities, one client at a time. Call 314-212-1500 today. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal opportunity lender.
Ingram Plumbing has always been known for its outstanding plumbing service. But did you know that Ingram's is also the largest retail plumbing supply store in the area? We carry Delta faucets, a complete line of Whirlpool tubs and showers, jacuzzi pumps, and many other specialty items. Stop by Ingram Plumbing today, Highway 61, Bowling Green.
The best coverage of high school sports on KJFM is brought to you by County Market in Louisiana and Vandalia, Perkins Electrical Services, and Bowling Green Pharmacy.
The Eagle 102 starting lineups on KJFM are sponsored by Community State Bank of Missouri in Bowling Green and Troy.
National anthem has been played, and we are getting ready for the starting lineups. We'll start for the Clopton Lady Hawks this evening. They're, of course, in their road black jerseys with white numbers and red trim. They're starting a 5'7" junior wearing number 11, Brea Smith. A 5'2" junior wearing number 20, Jasmine Hammett. A 5'6" senior wearing number 22, Shannon Yates. A 5'4" senior wearing number 33, Madeline Bruni. And a 5'10" junior wearing number 51, Stacia Talbert. So we'll see how my enunciations go tonight between Talbert and Talbot.
Yeah, good luck with that one.
Don't worry, I'll need it, trust me. So for the Elsberry Lady Indians, they are starting a guard at 5'3", wearing number 3, Candace Dow. A 5'8" guard, sophomore, wearing number 12, Katie Talbot. A 5'8" forward, senior, wearing number 14, Mackenzie Gladney. A 5'9" guard, sophomore, wearing number 25, Maya Plaster. And who was the last one? It was Anna. A 5'8" guard, sophomore, wearing number 33, Anna Talbot. So, yes, forgive me this evening if my enunciation gets a little hickish.
I'd say it's probably going to get a little jumbled.
It will, but we'll do our best here. Wanted to say hats off to the Elsberry Booster Club. Great speech beforehand. They are doing a fundraiser here this evening for Derek Feldman. Of course, for those who hadn't heard, they did find some cancer with him once again. Derek and Dawn and their kids, Delaney, and them have played in the sports down here at Elsberry quite a bit. Dawn's got several T-shirts for our area teams. They're doing a raffle for them this evening, so hats off. Actually, tonight and tomorrow night. Hats off to them for that. You know, that's the best part about these small communities. You can be, battling out on the diamond or on the football field or on the basketball court, but in the end, it just comes down to community. All right. Let's see, we've got Anna tipping center against Stacia. We're ready for basketball. Looks like Elsberry's going to control the tip. Plaster with it, gets it in the hands of Dow. Dow's going to run the point, and she's guarded in there by Hammett. Brings it to the near side. At the elbow with it above her head is Anna. Or, excuse me, that is Katie. I will get them confused, those two. Katie with it, holds it high, looks for inside. No, back out top to Gladney. With it on the back at top with it is Dow. Dow again working against Hammett in this man-to-man defense. They get it down the far corner. Gladney with it, skips it inside, and it goes out of bounds as Bruni watched it, and they're going to say it's last touched by Clopton, so they'll inbound it.
I think Shayna got a hand on it there. Bruni couldn't quite get to it.
All right. Inbounding the basketball for the Indians. Get into Dow up top with it to Gladney. Gladney pulls up for the long shot. It's a three, and it's good. So that's the way that the Indians want to start for sure. 3-0 Yates. She's in the near corner. She wants a three, and she answers. And we're knotted at 3 all here. We haven't even played a full minute.
And I would say this is probably how the rest of the game is going to go, just trading baskets.
So Dow with it once again, brings it up, goes down low, underneath, look for some space, shots up, it's no good with the rebound. Oh, in some trouble. Plaster has it. Gets it back out top, right back to Dow. Dow's going to reset things for the Lady Indians. They give her some space. She's got Anna and Mackenzie Gladney over on the side, gets it from Anna down low to Katie, and it's saved out of bounds by Plaster. Plaster brings it in. She takes it up. Her shot's up and off the glass and good. Maya Plaster with 2. It's a 5-3 ball game here with 6.5 to go in the first. Here come the Lady Hawks. Bruni brings up top, goes over the far side to Talbert. Back up top. It didn't take long, did it? And brings it near side. Now with it to Yates in the corner. Yates skips across to Bruni. Bruni thought about the 3, found Talbert down low from the block extended. And in the paint is Yates, and they're going to – he's waving it off and calling the foul on the floor. And Shanna's like, I'm at the free throw line. And they're like, nope.
This is where I think the NBA has it right with the continuation.
Well, I do, but they called it on Anna. We'll get the ball in now. Yates looks for that 3 again. They got on Katie, I'm sorry. Back out to Bruni. Bruni stands out front on this zone that we talked about a little bit earlier. Smith with it in the paint. Back out to Yates now in the near corner with it from the block extended to Hammett. Hammett shots over the rim with the rebound. Bringing it down is Anna. Anna over to Katie. Katie brings it across the timeline. Brings it to the near side. Down low to Plaster. Plaster from the block extended goes to Gladney across court. Now back out. Dow wants a long 3. It misses. Ends up in the hands of Yates. Yates throws a long pass, was picked off in there by Dow. Dow says, no, we're going to go back the other direction. That's the first turnover for the Hawks. Dow brings it back out front. Going to reset things. Over to the far side to Anna. Anna with the right hand picks up her dribble at the free throw line. Back out to Katie. Katie working against Bruni. Brings it back to the near side. Loses a handle on it. Saves it at the half-court line. Tries to find some space. Off to Dow. Dow down from the block extended. Her shot's up, and it's good. Largest lead of the night now for the Elsberry Indians. It's 4-point lead. 7-3 is our score with 4:58 to go here in the first. Near side with it to Hammett in the corner. To Yates back up top. Now back to Yates again. Yates has the only points for the Hawks at this point. They skip it across court to Bruni. Bruni brings it back to Hammett. Now to Yates. You talked about this 2-3 zone that they run and how tight they are.
Yep.
And boy, they're executing it well. There's another turnover taken away by Dow. She throws it up to Anna. Anna brings it across the timeline. She picks up her dribble. She's met by Yates. Needs some help. She's going to hand it to Dow. Dow working against Hammett. Now they trade. They're working on a trap over on the far side. And ball's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to stay with Elsberry. So Clopton kind of running their man-to-man defense for the most part. Elsberry in their 2-3 or 1-2-2, whatever it is they happen to fall back into.
Yes, and they're, like I said, they do a very good job of forcing teams to stay out. So Clopton's having to run their whole offense pretty much from the three-point line right now. So they need to find a way to attack gaps in that zone and get to the basket.
So Katie comes out, and Grace White, the 5'6" freshman, checks in. Where's number 3? Also coming out is Stacia Talbert, and Tinley Spooster comes in. It is White with the basketball now between the circles. She's guarded by Yates. Brings it near side to Gladney. Now in the near corner to Dow. Dow in the paint. Finds Plaster. Plaster tries to create some space. Kicks it back out to Dow. She wants another three. It's off the back of the rim. No good. With the rebound is Anna. Anna finds White. White in the far corner. Brings it back up top to Anna on the far wing. She tries to go down to Gladney, but it's too far. It goes out of bounds, and that's the first turnover for Elsberry. 7-3 is our score. Indians on top, 3:56 to go here in the first quarter. Bruni brings the ball back across the timeline. Over to the far corner with it to Spoonster, back up top to Bruni. Back to Spoonster, a little pitch and catch between the two. Now with it near side to Hammett. Hammett back to Bruni. Elsberry's defense shifting well. Shannon Yates wants another three, and it's good.
And a foul.
Count the bucket and the foul. She gets the +1 and can look to tie this one up as she's had back-to-back trays. I'm glad you're keeping score.
That's what I'm here for.
I know. I hear it's in your DNA.
You know, I really don't think anybody keeps the book as well as my mom does. She's had lots of practice.
Free throw no good for Yates, so it's a 1-point game, but Plaster gets it off to Dow. Dow takes it all the way down. Back up top to Plaster. She uses the left hand, goes in, shot up off the glass, and it's short. With the rebound is Smith. She fights for it. Now they're off to the races. She stops, needs some trouble, kicks it back out to Yates. Yates wants another three, and it's off the back of the rim. Bruni goes up. She's fouled. So Madeline Bruni will head to the free throw line. Candace Dow was who got called on the earlier foul. Now with it is Plaster.
Clopton did a good job of pushing the ball up the court there and not giving Elsberry time to set up in their defense.
First free throw shot is up and good. We're knotted at 7. Katie's checking back in, and here comes Campbell Lindsay for Hammett. Katie switching spots with Anna. 7-all is our score. 3:14 to go here in the first quarter. Madeline Bruni with the second of 2. Dribbles the basketball. Shot up on the way, and it's good. It's a 1-point lead for Clopton. And it's one of those games where the officials just let the ball go and you have to chase them.
Yep.
White with the basketball. She works to try to stay away from the trap. Has no problem. Gets into the front court. Kicks it out to Plaster. Plaster takes it in. Jumps right into Spoonster. And that'll be her first. And Maya Plaster will head to the free throw line to shoot 2. So with the basketball at the free throw line. First free throw shot is up and no good for Plaster. She'll get a second. (8-7) our score. Clopton on top by 1. Maya Plaster at the free throw line for her second. It's up on its way. Rims in and out, no good. Brea Smith with the rebound. Smith pushes it into the front court. Picks up her dribble, tries to go down low, and it's taken away by Plaster. Plaster to Katie, back to Candace. Dow's going to bring it across the timeline. She's guarded by Lindsay. Into the front court she goes, dishes it off to Plaster. She holds the ball above her head now in the near corner with it to Dow. One tries to lob it down low to Plaster. She goes cross court to Gladney. Gladney has no room but finds some space. Shots up and good.
Gladney did a great job of creating space for herself there.
So back to another 1-point lead for Elsberry. 9-8 is our score. Bruni over to the far side to Lindsay. Lindsay back up to Bruni. Bruni and the far corner to Spoonster. Spoonster wants a three. It's off the rim. With the rebound is Plaster. Plaster hands it off to White, and it's going to go out of bounds. And they're going to say Smith got a hand on it and helped it out of bounds. Skylar Parker set to check in the basketball game now. She's going to come in for Shannon Yates. Give Yates a little bit of a breather. Plaster to inbound the ball. She smacks it. Everybody moves. Everybody but Spoonster's in the backcourt. Now they start to spread out. Plaster pushes the ball across the court, out across the timeline. Takes it all the way down, backs up behind the arc. Gets it to Katie. Katie shots up. It's no good. Gets her own rebound. Puts it back. It bounces around. No good. With the rebound this time is Parker. Parker pushes it into the front court over to the far side to Brea Smith. Smith down low. Shots up. No good, but she's headed to the free throw line. And really, Smith has done a nice job over the years of getting and really embracing that play, taking it in there and causing the foul.
Yes, I really enjoy watching Brea play because, like you said, she's not afraid to get in there and go up and go into contact. A lot of girls, I feel like, try to avoid that contact, and Brea is not afraid of it.
Free throw shot up and good. We're knotted at 9 once again. Dow picks up her second foul, so she's going to take a seat here with 1:56 to go in the first quarter. It's nice to see her back on the court again this year. Had some big shots for the Lady Indians already. Brea Smith at the free throw line. She's ready for her second free throw shot. It's up on the way and good as well. Back to a 1-point lead for the Lady Hawks. Plaster's directing traffic. Again, everybody in the backcourt. They get it in to White. Back to Plaster. Plaster brings it near side to Katie. Katie works it around, kicks it out to White. White thought about the three, now back up top to Plaster. Plaster with the left hand in the paint. Her hook shot's up, it's too hard. Bounces around, Gladney gets the rebound, kicks it back out. White wants a long three. It's off the back of the rim, no good. With the rebound is Spoonster. Spoonster looks. Showbrand to the front court, to the top of the key. Backs it up, now to Bruni. Bruni in the near corner with it. Back to Bruni. Bruni and Smith reset. Over the far side is Parker. Parker tries to go cross court and it's taken away as she was toeing the line from falling out of bounds. Smith once again gets her hand in there, knocks it away from Plaster. Hammett returns for Bruni. Plaster will now inbound along the baseline. 10-9 is our score. Clopton on top by 1:13 to go here in the first. Full court man-to-man defense from the Lady Hawks. As we mentioned, everybody in the front court. Long pass, and Brea Smith breaks it up and it's going to try and chase it out of bounds with no luck. So Elsberry will now inbound it between the Clopton bench and the scorer's table. We're up behind the scorer's table, by the way, in the benches. As Plaster smacks the basketball, waits for her teammates to move. Gladney came out. We'll check about who came back in. Oh, Anna came back in. White working against Hammett. Dribbling around up top. We're down to 1:05 to go. Long three from Plaster. It's off the rim. No good. With the rebound is Parker. Parker pushing it into the front court. Off to Smith. Smith down low. She goes up. Her shot's up. It's no good. No foul called. And back goes Katie the other direction. Katie stops. Pops for two. It's off the rim. It's no good. With the rebound is Plaster. It's no good. She chases her own rebound, and they're going to say she touched it last as it goes out of bounds.
You know, that's kind of what I was talking about as far as keys to the game. Elsberry has gotten some really good offensive rebounds, and luckily for Clopton, they haven't been able to capitalize on all of them, but they need to do a better job on the boards.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Clopton doesn't want them to start making those second chance shots, and we're loose on the court, and we're going to have a jump ball. Katie Talbot, and was it Brea Smith, the two that was on the court? I believe so, because Smith's coming out. As Bruni and Yates returns, inbounding the ball is Yates. Parker also has a seat. Yates gets it right into Bruni. Bruni right at the head of Elsberry's bench. A little pitch and catch with Yates now. Cross court with it to Hammett. Hammett down low along the baseline. Is in trouble. Kicks it back out to Bruni. Ball's loose. It's taken away. That was by Anna. Plaster kicks it up to Katie. Katie working against Yates, now in a trap. Back to Plaster. Plaster goes down. She bounces off.
Coach Street is not happy with that call. I think she thought that should have been on the floor like Shayna's was earlier.
Yeah. Plaster at the free throw line for the and one with 11.8 seconds to go. And really, I hesitated because based on the call that they made previously, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Free throws up and good. It's a 2-point lead for the Indians with 11 seconds to go here in the first. So Bruni with the basketball. Brings it up in the near corner with it to Hammett. Now to Lindsay. Lindsay needs some help as time's running down. She's not going to get a shot off, and that is how the first quarter ends. Elsberry on top of Clopton, 12-10. We've got second quarter action coming your way next here on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage brought to you by Advanced Physical Therapy, Rick Rodhouse Insurance Agency, Center Locker Service, and Mercantile Bank in Palmyra.
When you support a locally owned pharmacy, you're contributing to the growth of the community. The dollars you spend stay right here to support our local community. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned pharmacies. There's one right here. Health Mart pharmacists have a personal commitment to their communities because, just like you, they support their community. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned and hometown proud.
Louisiana is a Health Mart town. Family Drug Health Mart Pharmacy. The right people, the right price, right downtown. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Tonight's game is not only a competitive contest between these two schools, but it's also an educational experience for the students involved. Because high school activities are about learning life values, your friends at Eagle 102 and the Missouri State High School Activities Association remind everyone to do their part in keeping our hometown sports a positive experience for everyone. When you attend your next game, do your part to help rekindle the spirit of citizenship by showing good sportsmanship. You'll be teaching a positive lesson, and you'll be preserving a proud tradition in the state of Missouri.
Area high school sports on Eagle 102. Brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, State Farm Insurance, Cindy Blaylock agent, and Bowie General Services.
Bringing you all the action from the Eagle 102 broadcast booth. Sponsored by Family Drug in Louisiana.
So Elsberry had one turnover in the first quarter. And on the inbounds play, they created a second turnover with the walk. So with the basketball now is Bruni. Bruni skips it near corner to Yates. Yates wants another three from the near side. It's off the front of the rim this time. With the rebound is Anna. She kicks it out to White. White falls to her knees, and we're going to have a jump ball, I believe. Are we? Nope. He's going to call a foul. He's going to call it on Bruni, I believe. No, yeah. So
Madeline's first.
So Elsberry with the basketball. White has it now, trying to avoid the trap of Smith and Hammett. Throws it into the front court, and it's taken away by Bruni. Bruni in some trouble, gets it in the front court, now holds on to it, and she's going to have to get some help from her teammate. Yates comes and gives her some help. So, again, Elsberry had 2 turnovers in the first quarter, and now they've had 2 already here in the second. Yates between the circles. 12-10 is our score. Haven't even played a full minute here in the second quarter. Bruni to Yates in the far corner. Back up top to Bruni. In the paint to Smith. Smith turnaround. Her shot's partially blocked. It goes out of bounds. Well, I said it was partially blocked, but the referees disagreed. Dow's going to check back in for White. Again, everybody in the front court. Dow over the far side to Barber. Barber, who's checked in. Wait, that's not Barber. I will get that in a second. And another turnover as Anna tried to force it, and Smith took it away. Now the ball's loose, and coming away with it is Clopton. I believe that's Chigola.
That'll be 3 fouls on Candace Dow, I believe.
Hey, I say you can't take them home with you. You use all those fouls, girls.
Yeah, maybe not this early in the first half. I'm sure that's not what Coach Kochdow wanted.
So Clopton keeps it in their half the court. Yates looks. They get it into Smith. Smith in some trouble. Back out top to Bruni. Bruni behind the arc finds Yates. Back to Bruni again. 2-3 zone being run by the Elsberry Lady Indians. Bruni and Yates playing a little pitch and catch. They find Talbot down low. Back out to Hammett. Back up top with it to Bruni. Talbot was kind of surrounded by trees when she turned to go inside for the shot. Yates over at the far corner now. Takes it all the way down the baseline to Hammett. Hammett from the block extended. Her shot's no good. Chasing down the loose basketball is Bruni. Back to Yates. Back to Bruni. Pitch and catch over on that far wing. Yates in the far corner. Back up top to Bruni. Now swings it near side to Hammett. Hammett near corner with it to Yates. Back up top to Bruni. Finds Smith inside the paint. She goes down low to Talbot. Her shot's no good. Goes out of bounds. So Yates will inbound the ball now from the baseline. Yates looks, gets it into Bruni. Bruni has to chase down the ball loose and gets a little pressure out there from Katie. Now it's a kind of back to that 1-2-2 for Elsberry. Back to Bruni. We're down to 5:45 to go in the half. Near side with it to Yates. She wants another 3. It's short. Ball's loose, and coming away with it is going to be the Hawks. I'll tell you what, great effort by the two teams. They're really playing aggressive this evening, and it makes it fun to watch.
Yeah, these games where they're physical and both teams are really fighting for the ball, they're definitely more enjoyable to watch, and kind of like we talked about earlier, they're sometimes more enjoyable to play in.
Katie Talbot gets her second foul, and we're going to do the mass change as Tinley Spoonster, Skylar Parker, Campbell Lindsay come in. Also coming in is Grace White. Coming out, Madeline Bruni, Stacia Talbot, and Jasmine Hammett, along with Katie Talbot. So Campbell inbounds to Parker. Parker one dribble right back to Lindsay. Lindsay on the near side. She's up top, brings it to the near corner. In the corner to Spoonster. Spoonster back out to Lindsay. Cross to Parker again between the circles. Back to Lindsay. Lindsay to Parker over the far corner to Spoonster. Working around, and they smack the ball out of her hands. Ends up in the hands of Anna. Anna finds Gladney, now Plaster with it. Plaster walks it across the timeline. Plaster brings it to the near side. Chigola's shot is knocked out of her hands. Anna with it to Gladney. Gladney shots up and good. It wasn't pretty by any means.
Nope. Doesn't matter as long as it goes in.
That's right. So it's a 14-10 lead for the Lady Indians. With it is Lindsay. Lindsay, near side with it to Spoonster. Spoonster spins. She wants a three. It's too long, but comes down to the hands of Yates. Yates back at top to Parker. Parker inside to Smith. Smith puts the ball on the court, in the paint. Her shot's too hard. Gets her own rebound. Goes back up. Still nothing, but she does go to the free throw line. I don't know that there's another player in the area that spends more time on the floor than Brea Smith, and that's usually because she's bouncing off someone.
Yes, and like you said earlier, it's a result of she's not afraid of that contact,
No.
and she's going to go up into it.
So that's the first foul for Gladney. Free throw short for Smith. Again, when we see the girls on the court, a lot of people be like, oh, they just can't, they're not athletic or whatever. Nope. Well, these girls, when they're on the court, they're fighting for something. Hats off both teams. Second free throw shot is up and good. It's a three-point game. 14-11. 4:32 to go here in the first half. Anna with the basketball. In some trouble. Back to Plaster. Throws it up. Front to Gladney. Now to White. Back to Gladney again. Over on the far wing. Between the circles with it is Plaster. Plaster. Crossover dribble, and she tries to make some space, but Campbell Lindsay doesn't give her any, and the result of that is a foul on Lindsay. So that's her first. Fourth team foul. So Plaster inbounds between the scorer's table and Clopton's bench, gets it into the back court to White. White will bring it across the timeline between the circles. Crossover dribble takes it to the far side to Anna. Anna Talbot up top with it to White. She goes all the way around, takes it to the other side. Her shot's no good. Ball's loose, and with the rebound is Parker. Parker turns on the Jets, pushes it into the front court, all the way down low, and it's going to roll out of bounds. And there's it goes off Clopton, so it's another turnover for the Hawks. Again, everybody in the back court as Plaster gets it right into Gladney. Gladney back to Plaster. Plaster up to Talbot. Talbot over in the near corner with it to White. White wants a long shot. It's short with the rebound. And that is going to be Spoonster with the rebound.
And, that's something I know Coach Street is always preaching to the girls, and I talk about it with my junior high girls a lot. If you box out and you're in position like Tinley was there, offense is going to try to get that offensive rebound, and they're going to go over the back, which is what happened there.
Well, I kind of got myself into a little bit of a sticky situation. First free throw shot is up and good over at the Montgomery County Invitational Tournament. When I made the comment to Mark, I'm like, what's wrong with girls? And he's like, oh, please tell me. For some reason, girls, it doesn't really matter. I'm not saying every girl is like this, but a lot of them have trouble with that boxing out.
Yep.
They got to push back. And that's why I told him, especially the short ones need to learn that move. As the second free throw shot's off the back of the rim with the rebound is Bruni. Bruni's putback's up and no good, but she's headed to the free throw line. So they called that one on Barber, who just checked in. I missed her coming in. So Madeline Bruni will get the shot with two. She can tie it up as free throw shots up. Nope, never mind, jinxed her. I've never done that before.
You jinxing people on free throws?
No, never ever. Bruni's second free throw shot is on the way. No good as well. Chigola with the rebound. She pushes it into the front court. She's right in front of Coach Street in a trap, needs some help. Gets it from Anna. Anna to White. White backs it up. And she's guarded by Lindsay. Gets it to Gladney. Gladney down low to Anna. Anna's under the basket, needs some help. Chigola's shot's up, and it falls good. That's her first points of the night, isn't it?
Yes, and that was a great move by her. She saw a teammate was in trouble, and she cut towards the basket.
Over the far wing with it to Bruni. Bruni looks for Smith. Smith in all kinds of trouble. They kick it back out to Bruni. Bernie up top to Parker. Parker brings it near side to Lindsay, and Anna Talbot kind of, all I heard was Miley Cyrus's "Like a Wrecking Ball" come in.
That is definitely how she came into that play.
I tell you what, gotta love that aggression. I love it. Yeah, don't know that she might have to walk off a little soreness there.
Yeah.
But Campbell Lindsay at the free throw line for a 1-and-1. Nope, she gets 2. That was the 10th team foul. Free throw shot up and good.
You know, Campbell sometimes she's pretty quiet on offense, but she is one of my favorite players to watch defensively. You know, Kaylin Kuntz comes to mind as far as quickness with the speed and how quick her hands are, and she just is a lot of fun to watch on defense.
Okay, they waved it off. Said one of the Clopton players entered the lane early. So it'll stay 16-13, 3:04 to go in the half. Gladney looks for a long baseball. Use that catcher's arm. Gets it to Anna. Anna down the other end. Her shot's up. It's no good. Gets her own rebound. Put back is good. And the and one. So Campbell Lindsay picks up her second foul as Anna Talbot goes for the and one. Shots on the way, and it's good. Largest lead of the night now for Elsberry. Here it is at 6. 19-13 our score. Lindsay with over on the far side, brings it between the circles to Bruni, now near side to Parker. Parker, back to Bruni, back to Parker. Near corner with it to Smith. Smith up top to Parker. To Bruni. Bernie takes it to the far side to Lindsay now. She takes it all the way down, back out top to Bernie. In the near corner, and it's going to go out of bounds. We've got a foul.
I think it's going to be a foul on Gladney.
It is. It's her second, and sends Skylar Parker to the free throw line to shoot 2. Parker's free throw shot off the back of the rim, no good. Shannon Yates going to come in. She comes in for Bruni. Kinsey Koch coming into the ball game. I wondered when we would see her. She's coming in for Gladney. 2:30 to go here in the second quarter. We've got your halftime report coming up in just a few moments as Parker's ready for the second. Shot on the way, and it's good.
First points of the night for Skylar.
So Elsberry will inbound it. Oh. Her shoe's untied, so the official stops it.
Her
ankle
brace.
Her ankle brace was.
I couldn't tell if the shoe was off or what was happening there.
So they get it in. Get it to Barber. Barber back to Anna. Anna pushes it into the front. At the timeline, here comes Lindsay. Tries to steal it. Anna gets away from it. Ball's tipped around. Chigola has it underneath the basket, and her shot's up and good.
I think a Clopton girl actually got a hand on that and tipped it directly to her.
21-14 our score. Long three on the way, and Shannon Yates banks it in. Back to a 5-point lead. Chigola with it. To Talbot. That's Anna. Anna picks it up, goes down low to Koch. Her shot's no good. Gets her own rebound. It's tipped around. Coming away with it is Smith. Smith doesn't have the numbers, but I think she's going all the way. She is. They wave it off. She's another one of those ones that it doesn't matter what the numbers. I don't care if it's 4 or 5 on 1. She's going to the basket.
She's gone to the basket.
Jasmine Hammett set to come in. Chigola with her first foul of the night. Brea Smith at the free throw line for 2.
And, you know, Brea has not hit a field goal yet, but this is her third trip to the free throw line.
I'm letting you say that so I don't get in trouble.
I'm not going to comment on what her shooting percentage is yet from the free throw line.
Campbell,
that's where she is.
Campbell Lindsay takes a seat as Jasmine Hammett returns.
I'm scared your bad luck is going to rub off on me.
What? She's a coach's kid. She doesn't miss free throws, right?
Correct.
21-19, although she just missed one last time, but it's very rare. So Anna looking to get it in, gets it right into White. White is going to pick up a foul from Spoonster, as Spoonster couldn't beat her to the sideline. And that's a 16 foul for Clopton. 1:43 to go here in the half.
That's Spoonster's second foul.
2-point lead for the Elsberry Lady Indians. 21-19 is our score. White with it. Gets it to Anna, and they throw it away. Actually, I think White, she's just a freshman, got a little scared. Her footsteps tossed a little high, was just out of the range. We've got a timeout on the court. We'll take one as well. 1:37 to go here in the half. Elsberry leads Clopton 21-19. You're listening to high school basketball on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage brought to you by Lynn's Heritage House, Ackles Farm Market, and Northeast Missouri Title Company.
Bowie General Services of Farber is ready to help you with all your lawn and landscaping needs. Or maybe you are needing firewood. They offer that as well. Bowie General Services is your reliable contractor in Audrain, Pike, and the surrounding counties.
Hi, this is Dalton Bowie. Give us a call today for a free quote on your next project or to schedule lawn maintenance. 573-470-5354 or visit our Facebook page, Bowie General Services.
Follow area high school sports throughout the season on Eagle 102. Brought to you by Shelter Insurance Agent Tim Jenkins, Keolia Landscape Supply, Royal Banks, and a taste of Philly.
Parker has it over on the far wing. Gets it in the hands of Smith. She wants a three. It's no good. Spoonster there for the putback. It's no good. And back to the hands of Chigola. Chigola to White, and Shanna Yates comes in, gets a steal, tries to bounce it off of White, but she hits the that out-of-bounds line first, and it's back in the hands of Lady Indians.
Just a little too much momentum going towards the baseline.
So Anna gets it back into White. White over on the far side working against Parker, brings it back to Anna. Anna crosses the timeline with it on the near side, and it's going to go out of bounds. Last touched by Parker. So Clopton again to inbound the basketball. We're at the head of Clopton's bench. Elsberry inbounds it at the head of Clopton's bench. Smacks the ball down to a minute 13 to go here in the half. They throw it into the backcourt to White. White working against Hammett. Finally crosses into the front court, takes it all the way into the paint. Shot on the way, it's up, it's no good. White with the rebound and some trouble. She gets it to Anna. Anna goes up to against Yates, and Yates is going to draw the foul. That's one of those times, and again, I don't know very many girls that do it either way that immediately fall down.
Take a charge.
Yeah, they don't take the charge like the guys do.
Nope.
The guys do them, and then they look like they have to go to the ER or something.
Yeah.
First one's up and good.
Guys might flop a little bit.
Yeah, by Anna Talbot. She'll get a second. And it's good, too. She's been good from the free throw line tonight. Nice free throw shooting by both teams. With it is Parker. Parker into the front court. 23-19 our score. Down to 54 ticks to go in the half. Near side with it to Hammett, to Parker between the circles. Looks again, brings it back to Hammett. Hammett back to Parker in the paint to Yates. Yates kicks it out to Spoonster, back to Hammett. Hammett pulls up for the shot. Rims in and out, no good. Koch with the rebound. Gets it off to Anna. Anna's in a foot race. She stops, pops for two. It's no good. Letting it go out of bounds is the Hawks. So with 29 ticks to go here in the half, Clopton has the basketball. Parker will bring it across the timeline. Parker between the circles in the paint to Yates, but taken away by Chigola. Chigola about falls down and able to maintain not only her dribble, now it's taken away by Spoonster. We'll go back the other direction. They're going to throw it up, and now White has it. Oh, nope, take that back. Parker has it. Parker pulls up for a three. It's no good. Ends up in the hands of Barber. And I think she thought the clock was running out because she just stood there with it, and still 3.1 seconds to go.
Yeah, as say that just is situational awareness, and you have to be aware of how much time is left on the clock, but it ended up working out for the Lady Hawks, who then tied it up for a jump ball and have the possession arrow.
They've got a timeout. We're going to keep it right here with only 3.1 seconds to go in the half. And Lauren, I got to say, it's been a fun basketball game so far. Has not been pretty at times. Nope. Turnover-wise, there's really not a lot between the two of them. Most of them, as you mentioned, are coming off of rebounds.
Yeah.
The exchanges as far as possession goes. Both teams, I think, this is something we saw over at the Montgomery County Tournament for the Clopton Lady Hawks. Elsberry seems to have that height advantage.
Yeah.
We talked about it a little bit in the pregame show. And it's an answer Coach Street and her team's still looking for answers for.
Yeah.
When you have that height difference, it seems to be something. Clopton had some height for a little while, and then all of a sudden, everybody stopped growing about 5'6".
That's a great height to be, Marianne.
Yeah. Let's ask Ashton. That's a great height to be. So Yates looks. They need to get it in to Parker. And it's knocked away. Ball's going to be done, and that's how the half ends. Elsberry leads Clopton at 23-19. We've got your halftime report coming up next here on Eagle 102.
The Eagle 102 halftime report is coming up, brought to you by Cellular and Satellite Center in Bowling Green.
Cellular and Satellite Center is the only stop you need to make when it comes to satellite providers, offering DirecTV and Dish Network along with antenna installs. Wait, there's more. They also offer several options for internet service with Viasat, HughesNet, and AT&T. Hold on, there's still more. They can also do security system installations, have TVs in stocks, mounts, and cables. Now, a special message from Matthew Niemeyer himself.
If you call an 800 number and they say we will be the local installer, they are wrong.
Contact Matthew at Cellular and Satellite Center in Bowling Green, your local authorized dealer.
This is Tara Grody, and People's Savings Bank is excited to announce the Bobcat debit card. People's Savings Bank believes in giving back to the communities we serve, and that begins with the school district. Every time you use your Bobcat debit card as a credit, People's Savings Bank will give the school district 5 cents. That may not sound like a lot of money, but since starting this program 6 years ago, PSB has been able to give back over $120,000. Open an account online at ourpsb.com or stop by our branch. We are the one with a bright blue roof. Start earning the Bowling Green School District money today just by using your debit card. Member FDIC.
Hey, this is Ryan with Mid-America Auto and Towing in Bowling Green. The crew and I at Mid-America are qualified to do everything from preventative maintenance to engine repair, state inspections, run diagnostics, and more. We also sell used vehicles. Check out our lot or visit our website, midamericaautoandtowing.com. Remember, if you find yourself stuck on the side of the road, just give us a call. We offer 24-hour towing and roadside assistance. Mid-America Auto and Towing, where quality work and customer service is our top priority. Just off Highway 54 in Bowling Green, your one-stop shop for all your automotive needs.
The Mercantile Bank of Louisiana is introducing BK Mobile. With the ability to take a picture of your check and deposit it into your Mercantile Bank account, you'll never have to worry about getting to the bank. Find more information by visiting mercbk.com. The Mercantile Bank, located on the corner of 3rd and Georgia Streets in downtown Louisiana. Member FDIC.
The area's best coverage of high school sports on Eagle 102, brought to you by Pike County Health Department, People's Savings Bank, and All Parts.
Hear all the action from the Eagle 102 broadcast booth, sponsored by Family Drug in Louisiana. It's now time for the Eagle 102 halftime report on KJFM, sponsored by Cellular and Satellite Center in Bowling Green.
So at the half, Elsberry leads Clopton at 23-19, and really, Lauren, the score doesn't reflect how close this game's been.
No, and you mentioned, there's not a ton of turnovers between the two teams. Elsberry, I have them down for 6. 5 of those came in the second quarter, fairly early in the quarter, and Clopton just has 1 more with 7. So, as far as ball handling goes, it's been a pretty clean game. Both teams are getting up a lot of shots.
They are. Clopton has only led by as many as 1, while Elsberry has led by 7. That's the largest lead of the night. But I tell you what, it's been a back and forth affair, and really it kind of reminds you why these two teams played for a championship last year.
Yeah, and this is about how I expected the game to go. Yeah. This is how it went, and their matchups last year like you said earlier, I think it's probably going to come down to who has the ball last at the end of this game.
And I think I've been known to be proven wrong a couple times before, but my guess is whoever comes out the winner in this game is going to be the number 1 seed at the Clopton tournament.
Yeah, I think that's definitely
and probably deservingly.
Yes.
Both teams have done such a great job tonight. We're going to run down some stats here in just a few moments. They were able to give away the pizza tonight, so hats off to all of those who bought tickets to help the benefit for Derek Feldman. So they did have Shanna Yates draw. She plays, I think, on one of Derek's teams as well. I think one of the Elsberry girls drew at the half of the JV game. So hats off to all of them. Remember, we've got the most complete coverage, especially as far as the scores go of covering our Pike and Illinois schools. You can always get a full recap of scores by visiting our scoreboard pages each and every day at kjfmradio.com. And, of course, we have a recap for you on Eagle 102 Sports on 102.1 and online at kjfmradio.com. We'll take a short break here on the halftime report. We've got your scoring stats for the first half coming up as you're listening to EMO Conference Basketball on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage brought to you by Advanced Physical Therapy, Rick Rodhouse Insurance Agency, Center Locker Service, and Mercantile Bank in Palmyra.
Cellular Satellite Center is the only stop you need to make when it comes to satellite providers, offering DirecTV and Dish Network along with antenna installs. Wait, there's more. They also offer several options for internet service with Viasat, HughesNet, and AT&T. Hold on, there's still more. They can also do security system installations, have TVs in stocks, mounts, and cables. Now a special message from Matthew Niemeyer himself.
If you call an 800 number and they say we will be the local installer, they are wrong.
Contact Matthew at Salem Satellite Center in Bowling Green, your local authorized dealer.
Bundle at Pike County Mutual Insurance and save. Ask about the great rates on your personal vehicle, farm trucks, big or small, or even your motorcycle and side-by-sides. Stop by and see myself, Corey Buchanan, or Kathy Gamm at your hometown insurance company since 1895. Pike County Mutual Insurance on the square in Bowling Green.
From the classic cheesesteak and rich crab cakes, a Taste of Philly in Bowling Green is a fan favorite. A meal ready for you before or after the game, and game day jerseys are welcome. Open 7 days a week. A Taste of Philly, Business Highway 54 West in Bowling Green.
Area High School Sports on Eagle 102. Brought to you by Cellular and Satellite Center, Pike County Memorial Hospital, and Community State Bank of Missouri.
Well, Lauren, this matchup opened up with some threes, not only from Shanna Yates and then Candace Dowell. She knocked down some too. I think actually Candace hit hers first.
Yeah.
I think she came right out and just knocked one down.
And Mackenzie Gladney has also hit one for the Lady Indians as well.
So while you're at it, why don't you go ahead and run down scoring for the first half?
Yep. Scoring's been pretty spread out among both teams. Brea Smith has 5 for the Lady Hawks. Skylar Parker has 1. Shana Yates has 9. All of those have come off those threes you mentioned. Madeline Bruni's put up 2. Tinley Spoonster has 1. And Campbell Lindsay has 1 as well. For the Lady Indians, Candace Dowell has 2. Mackenzie Gladney has put up 7 points for them, leading their scoring. Maya Plaster has 5. Kelsey Chigola has 4. And Anna Talbot has 5. Both teams have done a pretty good job of getting to the free throw line and then finishing at the free throw line. The Lady Indians are 4 for 6. Clopton Lady Hawks are 10 for 17. So they've gotten there a few more times, maybe made a couple more of those. It would be a little bit different game going in the locker room.
It might be. Foul trouble-wise, nobody in too terribly much foul trouble. Candace Parker. Look, I've been calling her. They were yelling Tennessee earlier. It's their fault. Man, I bet she would like the height of Candace Parker.
Yeah, wouldn't we all?
Candace Dowell, she has 3 fouls on the night. She had 2 of those in the first quarter. And, again, I still stick by my motto. You can't take them home with you, so you might as well use them up.
Yep.
And I'd like to see – I have a feeling we're going to see quite a few more fouls here in the second half.
Yeah.
I want to give a big thanks to the Elsberry School District. Of course, Superintendent Dr. Tim Riller was able to help us out and make sure that we had everything we needed over here. And, of course, to Carrie Coke-Dow for getting everything set up ahead of time. So we appreciate that and excited to bring you area high school basketball from Elsberry this evening. Remember, it's boys action tomorrow night. If you don't have any plans for your Friday night, we encourage you to get out and get to these games. We've got several area teams playing in different locations. And you know what? It's not snowing yet, so you might as well get out and enjoy basketball while it's still nice out. So no excuse. But again, if you just can't make it, we'll have those recap of scores for you on the scoreboard pages at kjfmradio.com. We'll take our final break. We'll have second half action for you coming up next from Elsberry High School on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage brought to you by Lynn's Heritage House, Ackles Farm Market, and Northeast Missouri Title Company.
Some of my fondest childhood memories are from volunteering with my grandmother. Helping others was her passion. She'd always say, the sweetest fruits of life come from serving others. And she was right.
At Shelter Insurance, we strive to make a positive impact in the communities where we work and live.
See me, Tim Jenkins, at 3404 Georgia Street for a free insurance review.
Hi, this is Brock Mitchell, and I am a physical therapist with Advanced Physical Therapy in Bowling Green. At Advanced Physical Therapy, we treat everything from sports injuries to work rehabilitation, arthritis, and post-surgical rehabilitation. This includes spinal care, balance issues, and vestibular treatment. You have a choice when it comes to physical therapy, and we hope you choose Advanced Physical Therapy, conveniently located across from Bowling Green High School on Business 61. Call us today to schedule your next physical therapy appointment at 573-324-6079.
Follow Area High School Sports on KJFM Radio. Brought to you by Brown's Processing and Smokehouse Meats, Young Enterprises, and Family Drug.
Second half getting ready to get underway here at Elsberry High School this evening. Marion Everhart, Lauren Loggeman in with you. And so while we have a moment before they get there, we got to ask. We talked about it over at Montgomery, but do you Loggemans ever take a break? Like, there's that other Loggeman from New Haven that she was kind of a pain as well.
Yeah, I think she is a little luckier than me, and she got a little bit more of the Loggeman height than I did. But
a little?
We're everywhere.
You all are everywhere. I did clarify that it was Loggeman going into it because I'm like, no, my luck, they're not really the same relation. It's going to be like Lagaman or something.
Yes, yep.
But no, it was. And that's kind of fun to see when you go over there. There's a couple of them and find out there actually is relations between the two. But we're just curious if there's anywhere you all won't go.
No, and New Haven area is actually where a Loggeman family is originally from. So there's several over that direction still.
We'll keep that in mind. Yates with the basketball as Clopton has it here to start the third quarter. With it up top is Hammett now down low, and Brea Smith has it. It's going to be taken away. We're going back the other direction with it as another turnover for the Lady Hawks. As you mentioned, pretty few turnovers in the first half for both teams. Plaster with it, takes it in. Her shot's blocked in there by Stacia Talbert, and we're headed the other way for Hammett. Hammett goes down, shots up. It's no good, but she's going to the free throw line. And I just talked about girls not taking charges, and Anna Talbot stood there, took that charge, and they didn't give it to her.
I'd say that call could have gone either way.
It absolutely could have. She did a nice job of getting there. And again, as we mentioned, I jinxed everybody. Free throw shot on the way. It's good by Hammett. Back to a 3-point game. She can make it a 2-point game here. She can drop this next one. Jasmine Hammett at the free throw line. 23-20, 7:25 to go here in the third. Second free throw shot is good as well.
Those are Hammett's first points of the night.
And Stacia forgot which team she played for. She went to take it out of bounds. With it on the far side is Katie. Katie goes it over to Plaster. Plaster back up top with it to Dow. Dow. Coach Carrie Coke Dow kind of tells him to spread it out over the far side. With it is Katie. Katie over in the far corner to Plaster. Plaster wants the three, and it's money. Maya Plaster with the tray. Makes it 26-21. Into the front court with it to Yates. Over at the end of Clopton's bench. Back up top to Hammett. Hammett works it around. She's directing traffic. 1-2-2 zone defense still in place for the Lady Indians. Finds Smith. Smith stops, pops for two. Her shot's off the mark. With the rebound is Katie. Katie looks to push it in the front court. She spins as she's up there against Bruni. Now to Anna over the far side to Candace Dow. Driving the baseline. Plaster finds Katie in the paint. Her short shot. Her shot was short.
We knew what you meant.
Hammett with the rebound. Takes it in the front court. Avoids the steal there. And gets it to Yates. Yates back to Bruni. Bruni to Hammett. Hammett finds Smith. Smith into the paint to Stacia. Stacia kicks it out to Yates, who wants another three. It's off the back of the rim. And it's Plaster with the rebound. She kicks it out into the hands of Katie. Katie brings it up front. Hands it off to Dow. Now with it to Plaster. Back to Dow. And they're spreading out this offense. To Anna in the near side. In the corner to Gladney. Gladney skips it across to Katie. Back up top with it again to Plaster. To Anna on the near side. In the corner is Dow for the three, and she drains it. We got a timeout on the court. We'll take one as well. The Elsberry Lady Indians lead the Clopton Lady Hawks 29-21 with 5:44 to go into third. You're listening to high school basketball on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage brought to you by Advanced Physical Therapy, Rick Rodhouse Insurance Agency, Center Locker Service, and Mercantile Bank in Palmyra.
Let Rick Rodhouse, your country financial agent in Pleasant Hill, and his team help you prepare for your future. From now until December 15th, contact Rick for a life, auto, commercial, or farm and crop insurance quote, and be entered in for a chance to win a $250 gift card. No purchase necessary. Stop by 103 South Main in Pleasant Hill for your insurance quote, or visit his Facebook page, Rick Rodhouse Insurance Agency. Happy holidays from Rick Rodhouse and staff.
High school sports on your area sports leader, Eagle 102. Brought to you by Bowling Green Tractor, Vicki Cadwalder Real Estate, and Ingram Plumbing.
Well, Lauren, that's definitely how Elsberry wanted to come out and start the second half.
Yep.
Clopton, not so much.
No, and that's one of those, Elsberry has the momentum right now, so Clopton needs a stop here to kind of swing that momentum back in their favor, or at least stop it from going towards Elsberry.
So Clopton all alone in the backcourt. Bruni will bring across the timeline. It's an 8-point lead, the largest of the night for either team. Bruni works it around over to the far side to Yates. Yates brings it back to Bruni. Works it around now near side with it. Hammett takes it down. She stops Pops from the block extended. Her shot's up. It's no good. It's going to go out of bounds. Say last touch by Clopton. You know the best part about this is we'll use the Clopton tournament. We're going to see these two teams probably face off in the Clopton tournament, and then we're probably going to see them face off in the Bowling Green tournament at some point. And all three games will be completely different.
Yeah, and that's how it always goes. And like I said earlier, you know, both teams tend to play their best games against each other, so they all three should be intense games like this one has been so far.
Well, we mentioned, you know, the very few games so far this season has Coach Carrie Cokedale had her entire team, and this is one of those times she said they should be good from here on out as Anna takes it to the hole. Shot up and good. And it's the largest lead of the night now at 10, 31-21. And with that said, these young players that are coming in off Clopton's bench, they're just going to get more time. So it's going to be three completely different games.
Yep.
As Bruni has it over in the far corner to Talbert. Down in the paint with it to Smith. Her shot's no good. She hits the ground. No foul call. Back out to Hammett. Hammett works it around. Hands it to Smith. Smith's going to do it again. They're going to call it travel.
And going off of earlier and you mentioning the younger players getting more playing time, I think as the season goes on, we could see Coach Street also switch up the starting five depending on who they're playing.
Honestly, based on what we're seeing here tonight, won't be surprised if Coach Carrie Cokedale. There's a steal from Bruni. Her shot's no good. It's Hammett with the rebound. Gets it to Smith. Smith finds the hole. She goes up. She's fouled. And that'll be three on, was it 3 or 2 on Anna Talbot?
That'll be her third.
That's what I thought. I only had one, but I'm pretty sure she had another one. Yeah, and Carrie Cokedale will be able to do the same thing based on what we're seeing here tonight. So we may not even see the same starting five in a couple weeks. At the free throw line is Smith. Free throw shots up and good. Brings it down to a single-digit lead. And here's that mass change again. Parker, Spoonster, and Lindsay for Talbert, Bruni, and Hammett. And, of course, Anna Talbot comes in or takes a seat after White re-enters. So Bruni with the Smith with the second free throw shot is up and good. 31-23 is our score. 4:29 to go here in the third. Full court pressure from the Hawks. They get it to Plaster. Plaster works to get it across the timeline in time. Over to the far side to Dow. Dow looks underneath to Chilo. Can't even get it out at this point. As Clopton takes the loose basketball, Brea Smith has it. She wants a three. It's off the back of the rim. No good. White with the rebound. Chigola is what I was trying to get out there just a minute ago. It's like he kept getting caught. So Plaster takes her time. I think Plaster is a natural left-handed player, if I remember
I think she is.
From softball. But, man, she dribbles very well with her right hand. With it in the near corner is White. White working against Lindsay. Takes it in the paint, and they're going to call the foul on Lindsay. And that'll be her third. So Plaster will inbound the ball along the baseline on the near side. Spoonster is guarding her. She looks, finds White in the paint. She brings it back out behind the arc, and she kicks it to Chigola. Chigola's shot's up. It's no good. With the rebound is Smith. Smith pushes it into the front court. She goes all the way around. Her fingertip layup's up and good.
And, you know, that's Brea's first field goal of the night, which is very unusual for them.
She had 20 points in the game against Canton, so it just kind of varies on what they're playing. We're going to have a jump ball. Possession arrow will stay with Elsberry. Coach Street happy with the aggression her girls are getting in there and showing and being able to do it without picking up a foul.
Yep.
All 10 players in the backcourt. Plaster looks to get into somebody. She gets it to Gladney. Back to Plaster. And Plaster going to travel. And nice job. Skylar Parker kind of fell over into Garden there, and we're going to have a timeout. Coach Carrie Cokedale wants to talk about things now, and it's a full timeout. 31-25 is our score. 3:16 to go here in the third quarter. Elsberry leads as you're listening to high school basketball on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage brought to you by Lynn's Heritage House, Ackles Farm Market, and Northeast Missouri Title Company.
Center Locker Service has served thousands of satisfied customers throughout Missouri and surrounding states for over 60 years, specializing in custom beef, pork, and deer processing. Center Locker Service invites you to fill up your freezer this year with delicious meat products. Invest in quality meats like steaks, chops, bacon, hams, ribs, sausage, roast, and more. Fast, friendly service is always featured too at Center Locker Service, 107 South Public in Center. Stop in or phone soon, toll free, 1-800-884-0737, or visit us at centerlocker.com.
The most complete coverage of high school sports is on Eagle 102, and it's brought to you by Mid-America Auto and Towing, the Mercantile Bank, and Pike County Mutual Insurance.
Clopton will inbound the basketball. 31-25 is our score. Elsberry is up by 10. Clopton has cut that lead to 6. Yates with it now in the paint. She goes up for the left-handed shot. It's up. It's no good. With the rebound is Gladney. And they're going to call the foul on Yates. That's her third. 3:07 to go in the third. So with it is White, and they're going to call it jump ball. Clopton gets the arrow.
And Shayna's one of those, you were talking about Plaster earlier being left-handed but looking very good with her right hand. Shayna's right-handed but prefers left-handed layups.
Isn't that crazy? So with it is Spoonster. She needs to get into somebody, and they throw it in the back, and everybody runs for it. Look at Campbell Lindsay towing that line. They get it to Spoonster. She wants a three. It's short. With the rebound is Gladney. Gladney in some trouble. Gets it off to Plaster. Plaster working against Spoonster in the backcourt. Picks up her dribble. Gets it to Dow in the front court now to Gladney. Over the far side to Chigola. Her shot's up. It's no good. With the rebound is Bruni. Bruni's going to push in the front court, and it's taken away by Gladney. Gladney goes up. Her shot's up. It's no good. With the rebound is Smith. Smith's going to push it.
Clopton has numbers here.
They do, and they kick it out to Spoonster. Spoonster on the far side. They're going to reset this offense. Really, both teams missing some point-blank shots, and both coaches now make them pull their hair out. Near corner with it, and they try to feed it in to Smith, but I believe it's Gladney who's going to pick up the foul.
That should be 3 on her.
That's what I have as well. Katie Talbot coming in. Talbot. Jasmine Hammett returning for Parker. So Spoonster gets it right into Bruni. Up top with the Hammett, and she travels. She get a little jumpy there.
Get some happy feet going.
Yep. So both Katie and Anna Talbot in right now. Well, I thought I saw Anna out there, but it's not. It's just Katie. Over to the far side with it to Gladney. Gladney in the paint to Katie. Katie shots up, and it's good. Katie Talbot with the 2 and makes it 33-25. 2 minutes exactly to go here in the third. Back up to Bruni. Bruni between the circles to Lindsay with the left hand. Back to Bruni. Bruni swings it to Hammett over on the far side. Back to Bruni again. Over to Hammett. It's kind of funny to see Brea Smith basically playing that high post position when she's about the same height as everybody else on the court.
But, despite not having the big height advantage there, Brea does a great job of using her body, and she moves well without the ball.
She does. And there was a shot was missed and ends up in the hands of Katie. Katie back up top to Dow. Dow thought about the 3, puts the ball in the court, kicks it out to White. White wants the 3, and it's going to be short. Gladney with the putback is good. Back to that 10-point lead with 1:15 to go here in the third. Bruni brings it near side to Campbell. Back to Bruni. Back to Campbell. Little pitch and catch between the two. They're at the head of Clopton's bench. Bruni puts the ball on the court. Tells people to change positions. Gets it to Lindsay. Into Smith. Smith dribbles off her foot, and it's a turnover for the Lady Hawks. And it's right back in the hands of Clopton. No, it's going to go out of bounds. They say last touched by Clopton. So Kinsey Koch returns along with Anna Talbot as Gladney and White take a seat. Also coming back to the basketball game is Yates as Campbell Lindsay has a seat. Okay. I'm just going to have to cross her first name off so I don't even see it.
Just Lindsay.
Just Lindsay. Nice ball handling skills by Plaster. Brings it into the front court. Dishes off to Katie. Katie up top to Dow. Dow looks. She's going to back up. Reset this offense. Man-to-man defense from the Hawks. Brings it back to Katie right in front of Elsberry's bench. And Bruni's going to get a foul as she made contact. I think kind of lost her balance and was using Katie as a way to steady herself. And so they're going to inbound the basketball right here at the head of Elsberry's bench. Plaster will have the honors. Guarded by Bruni. She looks, goes out top to Anna. Anna over on the far side, backs up behind the arc. In the hands of Dow. Dow guarded against by Hammett. Puts the ball in the court, brings it near side, hands it to Katie. Katie working against Bruni. Lean in, and there's a steal by Bruni. And into the hands of Smith. Smith will take it all the way down. In some trouble, she goes up. Bucket's no good, but big shocker to anybody who's following. She's headed to the free throw line.
Yep. Brad does a very good job at ripping through and finishing at the basket even when defense catches up with her.
So she's at the free throw line. She'll get to shoot 2 with 11.5 seconds to go here in the third. First free throw shot's up, but no good. I didn't do it because I didn't say a word.
And I'm just not going to say anything.
Smith back at the charity stripe. Free throw shot up on the way, and that's good. They didn't quite. So Mackenzie Gladney comes in for Kenzie Koch, and Campbell Lindsay returns for Shannon Yates. With the 11.5 seconds, they got all the speed on the court now for the Lady Hawks, and as they've been doing all game long, all 10 are in the back court. Get it into Gladney. Gladney to Plaster, and Plaster is immediately fouled by Lindsay. That's her fourth.
4 on Campbell.
14 fouls for each. And now Skylar Parker is going to come in for Lindsay. Well, they get it into Dow. Dow back to Plaster. Plaster and gets it to Dow. Dow brings it into the front court. Down low, and it's knocked out of bounds by Tinley Spooster. And they were setting it up for Gladney, and really Spooster just got that arm right in front of her face and knocked it out of bounds.
Yeah, and Elsberry's done a great job of that tonight, of sending that girl back. They've gotten that look a couple of times, and Tinley did a great job defensively of making sure she was staying at home there.
They get to Anna. Anna shots up, and it's no good at the buzzer. So after 3, it's a 9-point lead for Elsberry as they lead Clopton 35-26. We've got your final quarter of action coming up next here on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage brought to you by Advanced Physical Therapy, Rick Rodhouse Insurance Agency, Center Locker Service, and Mercantile Bank in Palmyra. Mercantile Bank in Palmyra is a proud supporter of the Panthers. Break away from ordinary banking and score with Mercantile Bank. At Mercantile, they know the best defense for your money is a good offense, and they're here to help you with your financial playbook. With 11 bank and ATM locations in Palmyra and Quincy, you're never far from scoring at Mercantile Bank. Stop in and visit their team at 123 West Lafayette Street in Palmyra today. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Fans, when you attend a high school game, do you stand at attention during the national anthem? Do you cheer a good play by the opposing team? If your team loses, do you take it well in stride? If you answered yes to any of those questions, you are showing positive examples of sportsmanship. Don't forget that when you attend high school events, young eyes are watching you for examples of acceptable behavior. By making a conscious effort, you'll be helping our students grow into better citizens. This message was brought to you by your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association and KJFM Eagle 102.
The best coverage of high school sports on KJFM is brought to you by County Market in Louisiana and Vandalia, Perkins Electrical Services, and Bowling Green Pharmacy.
Bringing you all the action from the Eagle 102 broadcast booth, sponsored by Family Drug in Louisiana.
So on the inbounds play, Elsberry got it in, and as they were trying to get it over to the far side, Clopton knocked it out of bounds, so they're having to try again. Katie Talbot with it. Talbot back out to Dow. Dow with the left hand moves. Now back up top with it to Gladney. Gladney back to Dow. Dow wants a 3. Shots up. No good. And Brea Smith with the rebound. Brea looks to throw it up, and she's going to be fouled by Anna.
And on the floor again.
You know, I teased her the other night, Brea Smith, I did, is she was getting ready to get her ankle wrapped. They called it, they didn't call it on Anna, they called it on Katie. So with it is Bruni. Over to Hammett. We'll come back to the story here in a minute. Inside to Smith. Smith turnaround shots up. It's no good. With the rebound is Plaster. Plaster's done a nice job on the boards tonight. Picks up her dribble, needs some help, gets it from Dow. She throws it up to Gladney. Gladney looks. Both Talbots were down at the blocks, but they couldn't get spun around quick enough before Clopton's defense was there. So Dow over the far side to Katie. Katie is going to travel. I was teasing Brea over at the Clopton tournament. She was about to get her ankle wrapped. She already had one wrap, so I thought she was done, and she starts walking on the court with her sock feet. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, you know you have to put on shoes, right?
Yeah, might be sliding and spending some extra time on the floor if that was the case.
Of course, she just smiled. And then I saw Coach Ed Lindsay wrapping ankles. So with it on the near side is Hammett. Hammett takes it all the way down the block extension. She's going to back up, try to avoid that trap, gets it to Bruni cross court with it to Spoonster. Back to Bruni up top of the key. Again, good defense tonight from Elsberry. Shot on the way from Hammett. It's high, arcing. And there's Brea Smith with the foul as she put her hand in the middle of the back of Gladney. It's only her first. Coach Carrie Coke Dow telling her players to be patient and under control. Plaster gets it in to Katie. Back to Plaster. Plaster working against, and she's going to travel. So both turnovers here in the fourth quarter from Elsberry have been on the travel. It's a 9-point game, 35-26 our score. Elsberry leads. Clopton is only led by 1 this evening. Clopton is led by as many as 10. They get it into Smith. Smith back out tight, top to Hammett to Spoonster. She'll go up for the shot. It's off the mark. It's tipped around. It's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by Elsberry. Spoonster's one that's quiet tonight. She's put up big numbers as well.
She had 17 for them Monday night. I think she was in double digits Friday at Montgomery as well.
She was. Back up top with it to Bruni. Bruni in the near corner to Yates. Yates thought about 3, puts the ball in the court, back up to Bruni. Bruni hasn't knocked down a 3 this game. To Yates again, to Bruni. Kind of pitching it back and forth between the two. Back to Yates again, or excuse me, that's Spoonster this time to Bruni. To Spoonster. To Bruni. Now we're taking it to the far side to Hammett. Back to Bruni. Inside to Smith, and it's turned over. Elsberry did a good job getting their hands in there, disrupting the play. Katie has it in the front court on the far side, gets it over to Plaster in the far corner. Plaster working against Yates is going to turn it over as she traveled. So 3 turnovers on 3 travel calls.
And Shayna did a great job there defensively. You know, a lot of times players will miss that extra step to cut them off on the sideline, and Shayna did a great job getting all the way over and staying straight up.
So Spoonster getting in the near corners, trying to avoid the trap, in some trouble. And we got a timeout. Coach Street calls a timeout to save the turnover with 5:42 to go here in the ball game. Elsberry leads Clopton 35-26. You're listening to High School Hoops on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage brought to you by Lynn's Heritage House, Ackles Farm Market, and Northeast Missouri Title Company.
Don't have time to stop by the bank? That's not a problem if you're a customer of People's Bank and Trust. With our mobile and online banking service, you can now bank from anywhere. Deposit checks, pay bills, transfer funds between accounts, check the latest activity on your account, and view images of your checks, all from the convenience of your desktop and smartphone. So start banking on your schedule and download the People's Bank and Trust app today. People's Bank and Trust, hometown banking the way it should be. Member FDIC.
Area High School Sports on Eagle 102. Brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, State Farm Insurance, Simply Blowlock Agent, and Bowie General Services.
So out of the timeout, it's Clopton's basketball. They'll inbound at the end of their own bench. Spoonster will inbound to Yates. Right back to Spoonster. She stops, pops for 2, and it's net. Tinley Spoonster, is that her first 2 of the night?
That's her first field goal. She has one point off of a free throw.
Okay. Makes it 35-28. Dow with it over in the far wing. She's going to take it all the way to the baseline. Cross court to White. White goes up. Her shot rolls around and falls through the hoop. Good. Trading buckets as Parker has it. Parker brings it across the timeline. Brings it near side. To Spoonster. Inside to Smith. Smith in some trouble. Stops, pops in the paint. It rolls around. It's good. Ooh, are we going to just be trading buckets here in the fourth? That'll be fun.
Yep.
So White with the basketball. She's got the numbers. Brings it to Anna. Anna couldn't quite go up quick enough. Now she finds her balance and puts it up. 39-30.
Tinley played great defense there. You know, there wasn't a whole lot she could do on that. And Gladney, or who hit that?
Anna.
Anna did a great job of finishing at the basket and creating as much space as possible.
It's a 3 for Tinley Spoonster. 39-33, 4.5 to go here in the ball game. Here comes Anna. Anna's going to weave. She's taking it straight to the hole. Look at this. Up off the glass. Oh, it's no good. She comes in and out of bounds, gets her own rebound. And Coach Carrie Koch Dow says, you know what? Slow down. Gladney with it to Dow. She backs up. Looks for the screen. Coach Carrie Koch Dow wants to take a timeout. We'll do the same. 39-33 is our score. Elsberry leads this one as you're listening to high school basketball on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage brought to you by Advanced Physical Therapy, Rick Rodhouse Insurance Agency, Center Locker Service, and Mercantile Bank in Palmyra.
This is Tracy Brookshire with Pike County Health Department Home Health and Hospice. Did you know our agency currently offers over 30 programs and services to our communities? The Women, Infant, and Children's Program, infant through adult immunizations, car seat safety courses, diabetes counseling, and of course our amazing home health and hospice programs, just to name a few. Learn more by visiting our website at pikecountyhealth.org and see what services you and your family could benefit from.
Follow area high school sports throughout the season on Eagle 102. Brought to you by Shelter Insurance Agent Tim Jenkins, Eolia Landscape Supply, Royal Banks, and a taste of Philly.
So Elsberry will be in their half of the court, basically from the free throw line extended. And look, Mackenzie Gladney gets it into Dow. Dow dancing around in the E, center court, brings it near side to Chagola. She's at the elbow, kicks it back out to Gladney. Gladney, top of the key, needs some help, takes it over to the far wing. And Yates knocks it out of bounds.
And this is one of those situations, like 4 minutes is a lot of time left in a basketball game.
So much time.
And it's still anybody's game at this point. Time is Elsberry's friend right now. You know, Elsberry doesn't need to be in a rush. Clopton, though, needs to try to push it up the floor and create a turnover here quickly.
White with the ball on the inbounds play, gets it to Gladney. Gladney's going to hand it to Dow. Dow again bounces around over on the E, now to Gladney. Gladney loses the handle, gets it back, tries to go down low to White, and we've got a jump ball. Possession arrow favors Clopton. So with it is Parker. She'll go down to meet this 1-2-2 zone. As Parker, top of the key, swings it far side to Hammett. Back to Parker, inside to Yates, or to Smith, to Yates now. On the left-hand side, her shot's up and good.
What I tell you, she likes that left side.
She does like that left side.
That was a great pass by Brea.
And Hammett's going to foul Candace Dow. It'll be the 15th, is it 5th or 6th? 6th for Clopton.
That's just Jasmine's first foul of the night.
So Anna Talbot comes back in for Chagola. And with the basketball is Anna now. One dribble, she's in some trouble. Back to Dow. Dow throws it up to White. White in the hands of Gladney, back to Dow. She puts the left hand, or put the ball in the court with the left hand. Goes up, gets a shot, and it's good. Man, she saw that wide open lane. She took advantage, didn't she?
She was taking it.
So Parker with it over in the far wing to Spoonster. Back to Parker, now takes it to Yates. Yates wants another three. Oh, rims out and out, no good. Parker chases down the loose basketball, gets it to Spoonster. Spoonster back to Parker. Parker needs some help, now finds Yates over on the far side with it to Hammett. Hammett back up to Parker, inside to Smith. Smith in some trouble, and they're going to call a jump ball. This time it's in favor of Elsberry. Campbell Lindsay going back in the basketball game for Parker. When Elsberry has inbound the ball, I think all 10 players have remained in the backcourt with him every time.
Yeah.
Anna with the ball to Plaster, brings it near side to Dow. Dow working against Lindsay, takes it to the elbow, kicks it out to Anna, and Anna saves it from going out of bounds and gets it to Plaster. Plaster working against Parker. She finds some room, takes it to the hook. It's good, +1. Makes it 43-35, 2:20 to go here in the ball game. So Plaster at the charity stripe. Tinley Spoonster set to return. Free throw shot on the way. Off the back of the rim, no good. Lindsay with the rebound. She's fouled. And they're going to call it on White, I believe. No, they're going to call it on Gladney. That's her.
That's four on Gladney.
Chagola's going to come back in, and probably for Gladney, as she heads to the bench. Spoonster returns now for Lindsay.
And I would say from Clopton, we'll probably see a lot of substitutions this last 2 minutes. I know Coach Streed wants Campbell in there on defense. She's already sending her back to the table to check in, but you don't want her to pick up an offensive foul because she does have 4.
Spoonster drains another 3 for the Lady Hawks and makes it 43-38, 2 minutes to go here in the ball game. Now, I talked to these coaches about ending this game in regulation. They may have had different plans. White with the 3. It's long. It's just short off the front of the rim, and we have a jump ball. Possession arrow to Clopton. 1:50 to go here in the ball game. Katie Talbot coming in. She's going to come in for White. 5-point game here. Parker with the basketball. Between the circles. Keeps her dribble, takes it over the far side to Hammett. Back to Parker. Parker to Spoonster. She wants another 3. She's feeling it. 3 threes back to back to back for Tinley Spoonster. Coach Carrie Koch now says no more. We got a timeout on the court. 43-41 is our score. Elsberry still leads Clopton with 1:30 to go in the ball game. You're listening to high school basketball on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage brought to you by Lynn's Heritage House, Ackles Farm Market, and Northeast Missouri Title Company.
When you support a locally owned pharmacy, you're contributing to the growth of the community. The dollars you spend stay right here to support our local community. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned pharmacies. There's one right here. Health Mart pharmacists have a personal commitment to their communities because, just like you, they support their community. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned and hometown proud.
Louisiana is a Health Mart town. Family Drug Health Mart Pharmacy. The right people, the right price, right downtown. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
The area's best coverage of high school sports on Eagle 102, brought to you by Pike County Health Department, People's Savings Bank, and All Parts.
So, Lauren, you're the daughter of a coach. So, Mark and I were trying to debate this at the Montgomery County tournament, and we're probably not going to have much time, so you're going to have some time to think about it. So, you have Coach Carrie Koch Dow here, who has nieces on this team. So, she's coaching her nieces. Over here for Clopton, you've got 2 coaches' kids and a grandkid.
Yeah.
What do you think's the hardest one to be? Think about that for a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
Coach
I'll let that marinate.
So Coach Ed Lindsay's granddaughter.
Yep.
Coach Bobby Spoonster's daughter. Coach Craig Smith's daughter. Or the nieces of Carrie Koch Dow. And Clopton comes out and gets the turnover as Chagola falls. Lindsay with it to Parker. Parker shuts up. It's off the front of the rim. It's no good. And now Parker's going to foul. I believe that's going to go against her, and we're going to walk to the other end for a 1-and-1 as Katie will hit free throw lines. So Skylar Parker, that's just her first. Katie Talbot at the charity strike. Has she been there yet tonight?
She has not. She only has 2 points so far on the night, a field goal here in the second half.
So first free throw shot on the way, off the rim, and Bowling Green has now adopted Coach Carrie Koch Dow's philosophy of when someone's at the free throw line, everybody stays in the back court. And that time, Clopton had the easy rebound. Spoonster with another 3. Up. Ball's loose, and it's taken away in there by Plaster. She just rips it away, gets it to Gladney. Gladney brings it in the front court. In a little trouble, gets it to Anna. Down to under a minute to go. Over the far side with it to Plaster. Plaster working against Hammett. Takes all the way down inside to Katie. Katie goes up. Her shot's up. It's no good. Ball's tipped around. Plaster with the rebound. Out to Anna. Now to Dow. They're going to kill this clock here with 30 seconds.
We lost a shoe.
Maya Plaster. She done worked so hard she came out of her shoe. And really, that's kind of a break for the Hawks.
Yeah. Clopton lucked out on that one. They get reset in their defense here, and I'd say, Coach Street might put the girls to work and have them foul here and hope that Elsberry misses the front end of a 1-and-1.
So Gladney looks, gets it to Dow. Dow works, and they try to foul her, but she gets it off the Plaster. Plaster takes it to the hole. It's no good. With the rebound is Hammett. Hammett looks. She goes to push it up, gets it to Yates. Yates backs it up to Brea Smith, and we've got another timeout. So we've only got 21 seconds to go. We're going to hold it right here because it was a nail biter. It's wearing me out.
It's a good thing I'm not on camera right now.
It is. I'm not going to lie.
I talk with my I still I'm a big hand talker.
So you're one of those ones that if we tied your hands, you wouldn't.
I would struggle.
You would struggle. Okay. So we had the debate. It's always hard to play for family, number one.
Yeah.
But then you have some pretty big coaches. I mean, we're talking Carrie Koch-Dow. Not only did she set records here at Elsberry, she went to Springfield, set records down there in college. She went to play, over in Europe and everything else. That's pretty big shoes to fill there. So when you look down at, and you're looking at your aunt going, oh, my gosh, I don't want to disappoint her. Or you can be on the other bench tonight and you're like, oh. So, now, granted, Bobby Spoonster is assistant coach now. He's not the head coach. But we both know that doesn't matter. Once a coach, always a coach.
I think it would be harder being in the family situation, speaking from experience. And, especially when your aunt, like you talked about, she has such a legacy here at Elsberry, and not just at Elsberry, in the whole area. Everybody knows Carrie Koch-Dow. And, the players you mentioned that Devin has on her bench. She played for Coach Lindsay and Bobby.
Yeah, and do they really want to disappoint her?
Right. Not that either situation's easy to be in.
Yeah,
but.
No. I'm just glad I'm sitting up here in the broadcast booth. So Smith with the basketball. She's going to inbound it. The head of Clopton's bench gets it into Parker. Parker to Yates. Yates back to Parker. Inside to Smith. Out to Yates. Down to 15 seconds. Over to Hammett. Back to Yates. To Parker. Parker tries to go, and they knock it out of bounds. So with 8 ticks to go here in the ball game, I can feel it. They're going to get this 2 points, and we're going into overtime. We are, because that's just how these two teams work, and that's what makes this game so fun. So Yates to inbound the basketball. Gets it into Parker. Parker to Smith. Smith works it around, goes up, loses a handle on it, and look at him make a liar out of me, and she's going to travel.
There's 1.1 seconds left on the clock right now. That is time to get a shot off.
And again, we're not going anywhere. With 43-41, 1.1 ticks to go, and it's not like when it's under that 1 second mark. You have time to get it, spin, and shoot.
Yes.
As long as it leaves your hand. When you're on a certain, once it's below basically a second, you just have to tip it in. There's nothing else you can do.
Yeah. I'd say in this situation, Elsberry is going to really want to protect the basket and make sure Clopton can't, make a long lob entrance pass there into the block, which if we get something on the block and make it, that would send this game into overtime. I'd also say they definitely want to keep the ball out of Shayna's hands. Shayna shoots some long threes.
You want out of Shayna's hands or you want out of Spoonster's hands?
Either one.
She's had back-to-back trays.
3. They both have 3 threes on the night, Shayna can hit some from deep.
And I believe the ball's going to be over on that side.
Yes, I think it is, sideline.
And that is Coach Brittany Koch-Dow just verified that. So that left side is where Shayna likes to shoot from.
Yep.
Now, I tell you what, if I was both these teams, I don't know. That's the sad part, though. What does Coach Carrie Koch-Dow do? You can't leave them open out here behind the 3.
Right.
They're having Brea Smith inbound it. I didn't see that coming. I kind of figured they'd have her down that block because she can take it to the hole. So, woo. Either way, I'm nervous. She smacks the ball. And what do? They look. She's got to get into somebody. Gets it into Hammett. Hammett turns, spins off the glass, and it's no good. The game ends in regulation. Elsberry gets the win, 43-41. We have your postgame show coming up next here on Eagle 102.
The Eagle 102 postgame show is coming up.
Your car, your stuff, your savings. Combine your auto and renter's insurance with a call to State Farm Insurance agent Cindy Blaylock in Louisiana, and let Cindy show you how to put life back in your life insurance. Auto, home, and life. Make your wallet happy.
Here to help life go right, State Farm Insurance Agent Cindy Blaylock in Louisiana.
Bowling Green Tractor wants to change the way you think about yard work with their Ego 56-volt ARC lithium battery-powered lawnmowers, weed eaters, blowers, trimmers, and chainsaws. At Bowling Green Tractor, you can walk in and see for yourself just how easy these products are to handle. Bowling Green Tractor, your home for Ego. Power beyond belief.
At Pike County Memorial Hospital, we know how important athletics are for your kids, but with an active lifestyle of sports come health risks and safety hazards. As a certified athletic trainer at Pike County Memorial Hospital, I work closely with our primary care physicians, orthopedic doctors, and physical therapists. We can make a difference between safe play and dangerous injuries for your athletes. Working with Bowling Green, Clopton, and Louisiana schools, our goal is to provide the best possible outcome for your athlete. I'm Casey Sutton, certified athletic trainer with Pike County Memorial Hospital. I'm at work while your athletes are at play.
Royal Banks is your community bank with locations throughout St. Louis, St. Charles, Northeast Missouri, Granite City, and Jerseyville, Illinois. A Royal Bank branch is not far away. Royal Banks bring experienced staff and products and services designed to meet your professional and personal financial needs. Investing in our communities, one client at a time. Call 314-212-1500 today. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal opportunity lender.
Area high school sports on Eagle 102. Brought to you by Cellular and Satellite Center, Pike County Memorial Hospital, and Community State Bank of Missouri.
Hear all the action from the Eagle 102 broadcast booth, sponsored by Family Drug in Louisiana. Time now for the Eagle 102 postgame show on KJFM.
Ooh, Lauren, that was fun.
Yeah, that's about how I thought the game was going to go.
Yep, we wondered. Elsberry got out to a 10-point lead, but Clopton, as always, was able to chisel away. And unfortunately, their losses, they have lost by a total of 4 points in their games. This was a 2-point loss here, 43-41, and hats off to both teams. Really, we talked about it early. We've talked about it several times during the game, but can't say enough. Coach Street even acknowledged it when we talked to her earlier this week. That 1-2-2 zone defense that Elsberry runs, they almost do it flawlessly.
Yeah, and you can watch them move. They're very methodical in how they move on it. They all move at the same time, and I don't ever notice a girl out of place. They do a great job of rotating and forcing those teams that they're playing against to stay out on the three-point line, and we struggled with that tonight until we hit some three-pointers in the second half, and Shayna had those couple early, but Clopton really didn't have a ton of field goals this evening.
Well, and we talked about defense. Defensively, too, the Hawks did what they did. They forced those turnovers in that man-to-man defense. The trap, they put it there, but it didn't force the turnovers like it has to other teams. But again, these two teams face each other so much they kind of know what to expect.
Yeah, I would say both teams had a pretty good scout plan for this evening, and they knew what to expect coming into this.
So hats off to both of them. Congratulations to the Elsberry Lady Indians. They pick up the 2-point win, 43-41. We'll step aside in the postgame show. When we return, we will have your scoring breakdown, and we'll run through scores from other games going on throughout the area as you're listening to high school basketball on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage brought to you by Advanced Physical Therapy, Rick Rodhouse Insurance Agency, Center Locker Service, and Mercantile Bank in Palmyra.
When you support a locally owned pharmacy, you're contributing to the growth of the community. The dollars you spend stay right here to support our local community. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned pharmacies. There's one right here. Health Mart pharmacists have a personal commitment to their communities because, just like you, they support their community. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned and hometown proud.
Louisiana is the Health Mart town. Family Drug Health Mart Pharmacy. The right people, the right price, right downtown. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Hey, this is Ryan with Mid-America Auto and Towing in Bowling Green. The crew and I at Mid-America are qualified to do everything from preventative maintenance to engine repair, state inspections, run diagnostics, and more. We also sell used vehicles. Check out our lot or visit our website, midamericaautoandtowing.com. Remember, if you find yourself stuck on the side of the road, just give us a call. We offer 24-hour towing and roadside assistance. Mid-America Auto and Towing, where quality work and customer service is our top priority. Just off Highway 54 in Bowling Green, your one-stop shop for all your automotive needs.
Bundle at Pike County Mutual Insurance and save. Ask about the great rates on your personal vehicle, farm trucks, big or small, or even your motorcycle and side-by-sides. Stop by and see myself, Corey Buchanan, or Kathy Gamm at your hometown insurance company since 1895. Pike County Mutual Insurance on the square in Bowling Green.
Follow area high school sports on KJFM Radio. Brought to you by Brown's Processing and Smokehouse Meats, Young Enterprises, and Family Drug.
Elsberry picks up the win here, the conference win, 43-41 at the end of the first quarter. Elsberry led at 12-10 at the second, and going into the half, Elsberry is up 23-19. In the third, it was Elsberry over Clopton, 35-26, and then again, our final score, Elsberry gets the win over Clopton, 43-41. Lauren, you got some stats for us?
Yep, we'll start for the Lady Hawks. Brea Smith finished with 12 points on the night, and 8 of those 12 came from the free throw line. Skylar Parker had 1. Jasmine Hammett had 2. Shani Yates had 11 points for the Lady Hawks. Madeline Bruni contributed 2. Tinley Spoonster led scoring. She tied with Brea Smith for lead scorer with 12 points. She hit those 3 threes in the second half. Campbell Lindsay had 1, and that rounds out scoring for the Lady Hawks. And like I mentioned earlier, they only had 10 field goals this evening, but they were 15 of 23 from the free throw line, so that's what kept them in the ball game.
Yep.
For the Lady Indians, Grace White had 2. Candace Dow had 7 points. Katie Talbot had 2. Mackenzie Gladney and Anna Talbot both had 9. Maya Plaster led scoring for the Indians with 10 points, and Kelsey Chigola added 4.
All right, so again, Elsberry gets the win, 43-41. Other scores from tonight. The Louisiana Lady Bulldogs are moving on in tournament action over at Monroe City after they defeated Marion County this evening, 51-30. They will take on Paris. I think I said Mark Twain earlier. Paris tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock for the consolation trophy. The Van Far Indians, the boys, they fell over at Centralia. They had a close one as well, but Hallsville got the win, 64-63. And just as we all predicted, but it ended in regulation. I did ask for it to end in regulation. Elsberry got the win over Clopton, 43-41, even though that regulation was kind of questionable for a little bit. Could have swore that we were going to go into overtime. And don't forget, more high school basketball tomorrow night. Of course, we always encourage you to get out and support your area teams. Get in the stands. There's nothing like it. We've got the North Green tournament going over in Whitehall. We've got Monroe City tournament action up in Monroe City. We've got Centralia tournament action going on over in Centralia. And then, of course, here at Elsberry, they'll welcome in the boys' teams tomorrow night as the Elsberry Indians host the Clopton Hawks. I want to thank Liv for running the board for us back at the station. For Lauren Loggeman, I'm Marion Everhart. The Elsberry Lady Indians pick up the win over the Clopton Lady Hawks, 43-41. And you've been listening to High School Hoops on Eagle 102.
You've been listening to Area High School Sports on Eagle 102. Join us each week as we bring you the best of area high school sports on air at 102.1, online at kjfmradio.com, and on the KJFM radio app. You can find a full recap of scores online and daily during Eagle 102 Sports, all from your area sports leader, KJFM Radio.